Hey there, everybody. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I haven't finished Naughty Bear yet, and well, I was gonna get to Naughty Bear because I kind of stopped playing Just Cause because Naughty Bear and Minecraft and these games just. I'm sorry, Just Cause is an amazing game. I'm not lying. It's not bad. Okay, well, it's a good game. I wouldn't say it's amazing. I won't go that far, but it's a good game. But unfortunately, Minecraft and Naughty Bear. I love Minecraft and Naughty Bear. What can I say? They're both fun games, and yeah. So unfortunately, I stopped playing. I even stopped playing my Ogre Battle 64, and I've been busy. I've been hanging with a friend of mine lately because of other issues, and I'm not going to get into it. I might talk about it. I'll see if I get an okay about talking about a little bit of his issues, and if I'm going to mention anything about anybody, I need to get an okay first and see. But anyway, I've been hanging with him lately, so I haven't really been doing anything. Like I've just been coming home and chillaxing and going to bed, and it's a long story. So anyway, he's never seen the series Legend of Korra, and I'm he's a big Avatar fan. I actually got him into Avatar. We got his kids into Avatar Last Airbender too because his kids liked it. So it was one of those things I could get everyone, everyone seems to enjoy Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I guess he had not heard of Korra because he's just busy. He's always busy working, so he's never online. So he never knew it existed. I don't think his kids probably knew, but he didn't know. Uh, so basically, I decided because I had picked up season one and I was able to get discs for season one and two of Korra. I also saw season three off of the TV, and I heard there's a season four. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it was direct to internet, and I don't know. It's like that sounds kind of like oh. Last time I talked to someone, I think they said it was direct to internet. I don't know if they're gonna have DVDs or not, so I may not pick it up. So it's just kind of like eh. So I guess I'm gonna call this installment uh for stuff I'm gonna call this installment meh. What I mean by meh is that some things are okay. This is I will give it rate out a basis of 5 and rating. It's okay, but it's not bad. And I've heard a lot of people gripe about Legend of Korra. It's weird. I've heard some really bad riffs on this series, and it's funny. People are like, "Oh, it should have stopped with air." I've heard people say this, people say that, and honestly, it's not that bad. Like compared to Avatar, I guess. It's not great. Like it's not great compared to Avatar. Avatar's still one of the greatest TV series. You know what? I'm a cartoon guy. I've already said I'm into anime. I'm already said I'm into like stuff like that. And there's a lot of anime and there's a lot of stuff I've watched over the years. Some stuff I've liked, like I actually like Tokyo Ravens and other stuff that features a kind of a teen audience, a teen characters, youth characters. Some I really hated, like Is It a Zombie? Oh God, that was okay. I won't get to that. Forget I mentioned it. But Avatar: Last Airbender, wow, beautiful, beautiful series. Voice acting, almost absolutely perfect. I think there's like one or two things I haven't had, one or two thing issues. Absolute perfect on everything. And Korra kind of, for certain elements, kind of follow the same thing. But where everyone's problems were about the mythos and all this other type of stuff. My problem is it was too short. Avatar Korra is way, way, way too short. And I don't understand. Like, okay, this is what bugged me. Okay, we'll start with the first season. The first season of Avatar Korra has Korra pit against the Purifiers. And the Purifiers are basically, I hate that I jokingly refer to it as an X-Men stunt. They're basically, non-benders who are upset and, troubled with the fact that benders basically rule the world. So it causes this huge issue. And basically you have this one guy going around, removing people's bending. And okay, that's great. Great series. It had a decent, had a flow. But the problem was this series that could have been more than just one season. That could have been 5 seasons. You could have the one of the best things about Avatar: The Last Airbender was the fact that the goal was very simple. Stop the Fire Nation. That's it. That was really Avatar. That was the Avatar: Last Airbender stuff. All this other stuff that they built around that, the environment, the emotion, the characters, everything about it was about stopping the Fire Nation. All 3 seasons were that. And that was great because they did a lot of build. With Korra, it seems like season 1 was good, but it was so short, like 12 episodes. You really didn't feel any of the emotion with the characters. They never really, it didn't feel like where Avatar had, I know that's saying something because I know Avatar had some seasons, but you really kind of felt like some stuff just didn't fit properly. A lot of the things. Like it just really didn't feel right. And then season 2 was even worse. Season 2 really didn't feel like stuff felt right. Like I hate to say it, I'm gonna say it again. They got a really good voice cast in this. Everyone in Avatar and Avatar Last Airbender and everyone in Avatar Legend of Korra, amazing. Like the voice of Katara, I mean, sounds like okay, to my ears, probably the best voice acting I have ever heard. And that's saying something. Like, I truly, truly believe this is the best voice acting I've ever heard. Ever. In both series. Korra, even, like, honestly, the voice actress for Korra, kudos. I think I heard that this is like one of her early roles, like one of her first like things. If she doesn't get more work, she deserves it. The girl who did Asami or Asama or am I having a Shyamalan moment? I apologize. I'm mispronouncing. The girl who did Ong. I'm kidding. Kidding. Wow, wow, was that a bad movie, Abbott? I'm trying to stay away from stuff that the angry video game nerd and Joe and all the other type of stuff. But unfortunately, I'm going to kind of do these reviews. I doubt anyone gives a shit, but I'm probably going to do Avatar: The Last Airbender, which means unfortunately I need to get an video of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, I need to get the movie. Ugh. That live action movie that, oh, man, that was balls. That was absolute balls. Anyway, the voice actress that did Asami, her pitch, everything. Like, I saw that person. And I think truly, if they were to do emotion and they really emoted and actually built something, it would actually do something. Like the breakup between Mako and Asami for Korra, it didn't feel like a really good breakup. Like, I'm sorry. She finds out her dad is basically building war machines. Like, violent machines of death and destruction. And her feeling about it is like, what? Man, she got over that fast. Like, really, it didn't feel like, I'm sorry, that really didn't feel that. I didn't like, she apparently cared about him. All the other episodes before that indicated that she loved her dad. And I don't know, could you truly, could you do what she did? and it felt like kind of like bah. And it was even more of a mute point because after a while, after this, she ends up making mecha tanks, and I'm like, season two, she starts making mech, or she talks about making mecha tanks and the plane and stuff, and I'm like, why? Why would Asami like? Why would you do that? Like this would horrify most people. Like if you found out that like someone you like your father or your mother or something like that was creating weapons like created like you know weapons of mass destruction, this would disturb you. This could cause you issues. And it seemed like she had issues with it, but she's like, "Oh, okay, well, that's okay. I guess I'm gonna start building tanks now." And it's like, no, why would you? That just I didn't feel right. It really didn't feel right because she kind of seemed to have a negative ass. It was negative towards her, even when she was wearing the shocker glove. She was kind of like, it felt like I don't know. It's really hard to explain. It kind of felt off that she was like season two, all of a sudden she's using mecha tank, like building mecha tanks and airplanes that are gonna like, and building war machines. It's like, why would you wanna, the shocking glove okay, that shocking glove could be used for self defense. That made a little bit more sense, but you're blatantly making war machines. It just seemed like she had an issue with it, but it was like all of a sudden, well, my business is going under. I'm gonna make it go. I'm gonna build tanks. Like her tanks are bad. Like her tanks are like steampunk. That was another little bit of an issue. The fact that they had those type of tanks was kind of with me, but that was only that. Um, you know, that could have had a little bit more of an emotional build. The the breakup with Mako and Asami was so it felt so weak. It did feel so weak. Honestly, General Io, the voice actor who played Zuko, also played Iroh. Damn, I can't remember his name now. That's sad because I actually he's also in Hook, by the way. If you really want to like get a good laugh, he plays Rufio in Hook. Wow, that hair. I've always wanted to, if I was to ever ask somebody a question that I know is going to piss them off, I want to ask if that was a wig. Because if that was his actual hair, holy crap. Anyway, you know, his introduction kind of seemed short. The battle kind of seemed short. It just, a lot of like, it just, it just seemed like they didn't put that same energy that was put in Avatar. Now, season one is considered the best of Korra so far, so I'll leave that season a little bit alone. I could even go farther and say, some of the other stuff that people didn't like the whole other side story stuff that they did with it, like the bloodbender guy. I can't remember his Armon or whatever, Amon or whatever. Yeah, it's official. You see, that's how much I love this series. I can remember Aang's name, Toph's name, Suki, all the other characters that are in it, Jet, all the other like most of the other characters I can remember all their names. This one just didn't touch me the same way. I didn't have the same energy and feeling about it, so I can't remember it. I am going to have a Shyamalan moment. What a twist! Okay, that doesn't work. Yeah, I'm gonna have a Shyamalan moment, so I apologize. But anyway, the characters just seemed, like that fight. Even the fact that the way the purifiers leave, it's like, there's no like no one thought maybe, he could have been using some form of bending. Like, like if he's such a freaking leader, like they don't even explain why he wants to like all of a sudden take away bending. It doesn't make much sense. What's his face is you know it just you had some backstory, but not enough. Like, what led him to becoming a mod? What led him to gaining that power? You could have done a little bit of that. You could have put that emotion. Like the same thing with Avatar. Avatar did some of the best episodes for bringing up backstory. and bringing up, origins. Like I think the episode's called The Storm. That episode is beautiful. Absolutely amazing. That was a great episode. And that was one of the better like backstories. Even the like episode, like the filler episode, is actually really good, and the fire and the fire the book of the fire book, book of fire there, that was awesome, and that was really good, and that just it just where this kind of didn't feel the same way. You never really did find out the why. And it's like, why is this person following him? Why is this? Why is it all of a sudden, where the idea of chi belong? Like, there's all this stuff that he's never touched. 12 episodes, dead. Now, I have heard rumors that apparently it was supposed to be way longer, but they killed it. And then because it was so popular, they brought it back for a couple more seasons. Now, season two, God, season two. Wow, I've heard so many people hate season two. And again, the reason I hate season two is a lot different from others. It just seemed short. Like the breakup with Korra and Mako. Oh my god. Again, amazing voice actors. Almost everyone in this was a good voice actor. I think the only one I kind of didn't like was the Mako voice. Like that was it. All the other ones did a good voice. Even the guy who did Iroh, even though you could hear Zuko's voice, it was still, I still liked it. It was good because it was a nice throwback, and it just, God, that was just so I mean, Mako fucks Korra over. Like Korra has lost everything, everything. Like her country's gone. Like the southern water tribe is pretty much been invaded by the northern tribe, which again pisses me off. No standing military. What the hell? Like, oh yeah, it wasn't like the Fire Nation nearly goddamn wiped them out. That bugged me. Like, yeah, they lost a lot of their waterbenders. If there were waterbenders out there, they might have migrated to other locations. Obviously there was the ones that were in the swamp, but who knows how many. But that bugged me. No standing military. Yeah, come on, whatever. So yeah, they're in trouble. So she's actively trying to find like assistance. And so obviously she goes to the Republic. Why wouldn't she go to the Republic? The Republic has a standing military. It's not like she didn't save their ass. Right there. So then, so Mako screws her over. And her breakup is so, 3 seconds? What? It was so sad and pathetic. Like that could have been awesome, and there was no emotion. It just felt like, oh, we break up. It's like two 5-year-olds. It's like watching two little kids. Like, I break up with you, okay? And they walk and they kind of split up. I'm sorry, but life, when you get breakups and when you get a nasty breakup like that, it's it's up there with that type of breakup. That was something that could have been awesome, didn't go awesome. Sucked. Hated it. And I guess I'll touch base with I can keep going, but I guess I'll touch base with there's two things I'd like to touch base with. I guess I'll touch base with season 3. I haven't seen season 4 yet because I don't know. I can't find it anywhere, so I don't want to go online. I actually like to buy the DVDs. I'll touch base with season 3. And what can again, another thing. You could have season 1, 2, and 3 could have been the entire series. Season 3, you have a terrorist group. You have the Benders have returned. You have a terrorist group trying to kill Korra. This could have been 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This could have been quite a few seasons. And there could have been a lot of emotion to this. Nope. oh, this Red Lotus came out of nowhere. Oh, no, well, nope. It's like, and that was the problem with Korra I've had. Now I'm gonna kind of touch base because I got a little bit of time left. My friend's big gripe, and it's the one thing I think is wrong, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this because a lot of people seem to hate this. A friend of mine's pissed off with the whole lion turtle the lion turtle twirtle. God, that. Okay, I do need to go to bed. Lion turtle myth about how they apparently were the ones who gave fire to the firebender, to the firebender, but bending elemental bending. He hates this because he personally thinks, well, it screws all the backstories, and I'm like, well, maybe it doesn't actually. This is the funny thing. If you watch the last episode of Avatar, some of the last episodes, the lion turtle says we bent the energy within ourselves. The way he says it, and I know the voice is kind of monotone, so you're not 100% sure. It just feels like the reference he's saying to we actually meant the lion turtles bent the energy. And to be honest, oh, excuse me, one sec here. To be honest, why wouldn't, okay, this energy exists now in people. All these people die in a war. It seems to indicate that there was this huge war that happened. That the nations were constantly warring. People were constantly fighting amongst themselves. We war. And it seems to believe that there was this war that was constantly going on. So maybe a lot of benders lost their bending. Because there was only so many people that had bending. The turtles just didn't give it to everybody. So that being said, wouldn't that ultimately mean that, their children who now would possess the power had no knowledge? It's the same feeling I had with the Air Nation. I constantly said it. I did never believed Avatar was the last airbender. It's a cool thing to say the last of, like the last of Mohicans, the last of this. I'm the last I'm the last one, I'm the last person that, plays, still plays certain video games. Okay, there we go. I'm the last, the last hope, last survival, last. It sounds awesome, but in truth, the air bisons are airbenders, so obviously Aang isn't. And maybe there were other benders that existed. See, this is the thing. I truly believe there was other benders that existed. Airbenders. It's just through generations of hiding, of like not showing yourself, not kind of like just years of like putting yourself in hiding. Again, a nomad people being wiped out is very hard to do. Look at our own history. You may not necessarily have the same people, but if you check the bloodline, eventually, you go deep enough in someone's blood, you'll find some interesting generational pips. China, Genghis Khan. There's some interesting stuff about that. You can't wipe an entire people out that easy. It's a difference when it's a kingdom, but was an entire nation, which would indicate thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. I mentioned this before. It's just damn near impossible. There were probably airbenders that hid their power. They had kids. These kids hid their power, or they didn't teach these kids. These kids fell out of energies. The energies disappeared, and just kind of fell out. And when Korra brought out brought the energies back by, the harmonic conversion, the whole, opening the spiritual world, the spirit world, I think a lot of benders gained their power back due to this fact. It was like, because everyone it kind of seemed like after that point, a lot of benders seemed to have a little bit more power. They're a little bit more amped. And that's what did it. So that's my feeling about this. I know this video ran a little long. I try not to run it too long, but that's my feeling about it. It's more of a generational thing. So maybe benders would have figured it out eventually. Like, come on, like the bisons, all the bisons didn't die. There were apparently bisons floating around. So that's my feeling about Avatar Korra. I'm honestly saying it's an average thing. I don't hate it, don't like it. A straight out five. Avatar Legend of Korra, and there we go. So yeah. So I'm gonna work on Naughty Bear. I'll have it done in probably a week. I want to finish watching South Park season 15, so I'm getting 16 soon. So yeah, I'm gonna check out that a great pawn shop I like to go to pick up my video games, and we'll hopefully I'll do Naughty Bear, then I'll do Just Cause, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, have a good one.